Hi guys and welcome back to Tommy's Starcraft. This is your host Tommy with another Starcraft Remastered replay for you guys. No, sorry about that. Once again we have a great engagement in between two pro players from the South Korean scene. Oh no, it's actually not from the South Korean scene. So let me just start by introducing the players to you guys. We have spawning here in the lower left, in the teal I believe it is. It's MONDRAGON from Germany. And his opponent is going to be none other than spawning here in the upper right in the white. It is IDRA from the United States of America. So very nice international gameplay here in between these two pro players. This replay has been taken from the ICC Cup as MONDRAGON already nicely moving out here with his Overlord. So sadly I don't have that much info about him, I just know that he is a pro gamer from Germany. He is currently retired, and you guys, of course, some of you guys might know IDRA. He's a very outspoken person, sometimes raging a little bit, sometimes just very outspoken, sometimes vulgar, but all in all a very strong Terran player, perhaps even the best player from the United States of America, along with Neeb of course. And currently I don't know his status. I believe that he was a member from the EG clan, very influential and strong clan, and right now I believe that he might has retired from Starcraft. Still a very interesting matchup here, as IDRA once again is going to open up here with a supply depot like most Terrans do. Let's have a look at the base here from MONDRAGON. No buildings yet, so this might indicate to us that he's going for a fast expansion build, even though the map is a little bit small here. But indeed the drone is already moving out, so we might see that fast expansion. Still no spawning pool, more and more drones are being produced. There's that fast expansion, and the first SCV is also moving out on the map. As we've seen in previous replays on this channel, most pro gamers do send out their scouts at the 2-minute mark. The same can be said about MONDRAGON. He is also sending out his Overlord here. The workers do meet up here in the middle of the map. Another Overlord is also being nicely sent out, as IDRA is already placing here his first barracks out on the map. Spawning pool is following up here by MONDRAGON, and pretty soon IDRA is going to scout this, as he's going to find out what exactly MONDRAGON is up to, as the drone from MONDRAGON also nicely makes its way here into the main from IDRA and sees no expansion yet. So yeah, let's have a look at the follow-up here. The spawning pool is being almost done, as more and more drones are being produced. Expansion also up. First Marine is also up on the map, as IDRA has a small worker advantage, of course, given the fact that the Zergs do lose one drone when they make a building here. So let's have a look what other buildings are going to be made here by MONDRAGON, or MONDRAGON with a nice macro hatch here, and even makes that gas for that upgrade for their Zerglings. So this might of course indicate to IDRA that a fast push is going to come out here with some Zerglings, so an early aggression. Even with that, IDRA feels very confident. Perhaps that this lich is very small here, so he might load his barracks into this position, perhaps build a supply depot too, or even a bunker, and he would of course withstand a push with some Zerglings here. So yeah, let's have a look. The first Zerglings are out on the map. The SCV is not being chased, as the Zerglings do make it out here, straight for the base here from IDRA, but two Marines are already out on the map. The second bio barracks is also being produced, so we might see a Terran going straight for mass bio here. Mass Marines with medics with fire bats, and even some SCVs are being pulled just to block this entrance here. Let's just see exactly where those Zerglings are. In they come. The expansion is also almost being done, but there's just two Zerglings here. So what exactly did he just attack his command center a little bit? Yeah, it happens. Yeah, he did indeed attack it a little bit. It happens, of course, if that APM is so high. Look at that AG IDRA's APM already almost at 400 actions per minute. So really strong stuff here by him. As MONDRAGON is already upgrading his tier 2, he's also going for some gas. So we might see some mutualist gameplay here by him. At the same time, he has nicely spread his Zerglings into this position, so just to see exactly when an army move out, or if an army move out is going to come up here. And he's also nicely droning up here. His Overlord is also nicely being placed. This one is also nicely being placed, so he knows exactly what when IDRA is going to move out. He doesn't yet have vision, but in his main, but he of course knows that a nice bio push will very likely come here through, as we are closing it at the 5-minute mark. the Zerg also placing here his Spire. This should be of course his Spire. Let's check. Yes, it is Inspire. So we might see a Mutalist gameplay pretty soon here. So of course the Terran should react with some turrets, with more and more Marines. There's even a Firebat hero out on the map. And slowly but steadily Hydra is moving out here with a quite consistent force here, so some Sunkens perhaps will be built here by the Zerg. Of course, yes, that's first colony being built, but he needs to hurry up. More and more Zerglings are being added. Of course, Mondragon is going to try to buy some time here, perhaps get a good surround, but there's that one Firebat hero that's very strong, so one Zergling already being taken out. Zergling speed has been done, and this Sunken will finish on time. So really good stuff here by him, as Hydra of course has to push back a little bit. Let's have a look. Is there an academy with steam? Yes, indeed he did. That's steam, and there's also a factory. So the Terran will very likely add some tanks here just to reinforce here his units, perhaps just to kill many more Sunkens. Let's have a look at the Spire. Spire has finished, and Mondragon should be pumping the first Mutalisks out indeed. So yeah, right now Hydra should know exactly. He even has a scan, so he knows exactly what's coming towards his way. So some turrets should be added really soon. Actually, he's going for a bunker, interestingly enough. Sorry about that, guys. More and more Marines are being added here by him. And yeah, the first turrets are also out on the map just to secure the production buildings here for Hydra. He's also leaving a group in here just in case the Zerg wishes to expand into this position. But Mondragon nicely hiding here his drone. So there is actually an army move out here by Mondragon, and sadly for him his Firebat hero needs to run away. This is now being targeted even with Mutalisks and some Zerglings, so this small group here from Hydra should be of course killed by Mondragon. So nice early win here by Mondragon, as we slowly but steadily closing in at the 10-minute mark. More and more reinforcements are being pumped here by Hydra. Turrets are also nicely out on the map here. And let's have a look what exactly Mondragon is going to go for. Not that many Mutalisks. Actually, even more and more Mutalisks are joining in the fight. So he is having now, how much is this? 9 Mutalisks now. But he needs to find a good position. Perhaps this position would be good, or just to fly over and go for this position. Let's have a look where exactly those Mutalisks are. Here they are. Perhaps he's going to wait for more and more reinforcements. Indeed, more and more reinforcements are joining in the fight. And yeah, if he flies here over this ledge, but he just doesn't have enough vision, so he doesn't know if there's some turrets into this position. What will his decision going to be here? He could of course go for this turret, but there's 2 turrets here. SCVs are immediately being pulled, but the damage is already being done, so nice early aggression here by Mondragon, killing those 2 turrets, even going for some Marines now, nicely microing here those Mutalisks, but even those Mutalisks are very much hurt, some of them at least. He still gets some connection, he still kills some Marines here. 2 Mutalisks have also fallen, so all in all a good engagement here for Mondragon. Is coming in for more, but he needs to be careful. Those Marines are stimmed of course, and Stim Marines are very strong here against those Mutalisks. At the same time, Mutalisks of course, if you micro them correctly, can be very strong against Marines, but there are some medics here into this army composition, so the Marines should be fine, as Mondragon is retreating right now. Perhaps he just wishes to heal those Mutalisks a little bit up, as they heal very fast, and more Zerglings are being added. At the same time, Mondragon of course buying time here for his expansion, just pumping more and more drones out. 44 drones for Hydra and 40 for Mondragon. He's also going for his tier 3, so we might see some Ultralisk, we might see some Defilers. Defilers of course very important against this army composition with that Dark Swarm. As Hydra decides to move out here with his forces, Mondragon tries to kill those medics. Medics of course very important here for the Terran. So let's just see exactly what the idea is going to be here from Hydra. He's currently in the middle of the map, decides to push out a little more and more reinforcements are coming in, even has a science vessel just to detect some lurkers, and Mondragon not really paying attention. Actually he did pay attention and killed those 3 Marines. At the same time, an SCV is also moving out here on the map. Perhaps he wishes to expand, just leaving his troops here in the middle, and perhaps he's going for this location here. Some lurkers are already being spawned here by Mondragon, so we should be able to hold this nice ledge here as more and more reinforcements are pouring in here for the Terran. Let's have a look at the upgrades. 0 to 1 upgrades, 0-0 for those tanks, and let's check here the Zerglings upgrade, only 0-0 for him. So yeah, indeed Hydra is very likely going for this position. He has detection against those lurkers, he has some siege tanks, but he needs to defend those siege tanks of course against those mutalisks. So slowly but steadily Hydra is moving out here on the map, and yeah, let's just see exactly if Mondragon is able to defend. Of course he's going to hold this ledge with those lurkers, but in comes the science vessel, he sees everything, so the siege tank shouldn't have a problem by clearing this out. Yeah, Mondragon in a little bit of trouble as siege tanks outrange those lurkers, but he needs to be careful. One lurker has fallen and he's actually sieging up here, even irradiating one of those lurkers, so nice job here by him. Slowly but steadily Hydra is moving out. He hasn't expanded on his third, but still his reinforcements are in his base in case there's a mutalisk harassment coming in. In comes the push once again, so many lurkers have fallen here, so much splash damage. Really good job here by him. However, some marines have fallen here as well, and there's even an Nidus network here, so some lurkers will be transferred here, as Hydra has to of course wait for his siege tanks, but he also has to nicely defend those siege tanks. In comes the siege tank, they will siege up here, and yeah, very good position here, as the Terran has the high ground here. The Sunken immediately gets targeted, and so much damage here against that Sunken. Zerglings are also falling, till the Sunken is somehow alive. Finally it has fallen, and yeah, Hydra looking very strong here, even going for that second Sunken now. Marines and medics are doing really well here against the Zerg, so the Mondragon in a little bit of trouble here, as so many workers for him will fall here. Let's have a look. He's also trying to bust here through with those dark swarm, with those lurkers. So much splash damage now here being dealt with Mondragon. Really good job here by him. Those lurkers are invulnerable against rage units. He needs to be careful with those Zerglings. And a nice bust here through, as both players are hurting their economies. Really nice job here, but a little bit of more hurting here going on for Mondragon, as he has fallen at 24 workers, even though a nice splash damage now from those lurkers. So many SCVs has fallen here, and look at that. Hydra in some trouble here as his bio can't just push out here. A really great push here with those Dark Templars, with those Defilers and with that Dark Swarm. Here we are. Yeah, Hydra even pushing more and more out here. Where is his science vessel? His science vessel is very important here to detect these units. Perhaps he just... oh, there it is. As it's being chased here by some mutalisks. Mutalisks need to be careful, as those marines will very likely go for them. So also the tanks need to be nicely microed here, as those marines are with steam. They should be fine against those mutalisks. So good job here by him. Still those lurkers are into this position, as siege tank will very likely siege up here. With some scan they can deal some damage, so nice job here by Hydra, but he still has to turtle in his main, as those lurkers will deal so much splash damage here against him. At the same time, here comes a great defensive push here by Mondragon, as with that Dark Swarm once again he's dealing so much damage here against the units from Hydra. Hydra nicely microing back here his units, not losing that many, but he has to of course pull back. Lurkers are still in position, as perhaps a science vessel will follow up here really soon. Let's just have a look into the science vessel, and with that science vessel should be able to hold this. It's just scanning, going straight for those units, losing so many units here. And at the same time he has to retreat with his main force. More reinforcements are coming in here for Mondragon with those Defilers, with the Dark Swarm. But right now there is detection with that science vessel. However, so much mining time has been lost, and here we go once again. Dark Swarm being used here by Mondragon. Really great push here by him, as those lurkers once again great against that bio here from Hydra. So Hydra once again in some serious trouble. If those SCVs will get connected with that splash damage, so many SCVs will fall. But nicely microing them back here, and even mining more and more here. So he needs to of course be careful, as those lurkers are moving more and more forward in. At the same time he's nicely holding the middle position here with those marines, with those science vessels and tanks, so that no reinforcements are coming in. Hydra feeling very cocky here, even still mining, as those lurkers won't reach their destination. The SCVs, another science vessel is being built, but these lurkers are invulnerable to range units attacks. Finally Hydra is lifting up this command center and he still holds the position here. But even though he has 44 workers, he's only mining from one base. And yeah, Mondragon with that only 25 workers here, but he has 2 bases and even builds another base here, so he's just buying time here for his base. More and more units are being produced here for Hydra, and finally this siege tank should be able to hold this position and push this back. So if it still could be anyone's game. Lurkers are of course very great against Bio, and now he's teaming up here. He really wishes to clear this position, but look at how much flash damage he's taking. Luckily for him, he has some medics, and at the same time he's in the middle of the map steaming once again. But in comes Mondragon with those defilers and the Dark Zone once again. Even some Scourge are being added, so these siege tanks will fall of course. As once again we have a push here by Mondragon. He's trying to go for a surround against those medics. Perhaps catching some of those medics would be very valuable here, but the reinforcements are coming in here for Hydra. So Hydra once again regrouping here and even nicely defending those science vessel against those Scourge. So the lights have turned, and once again with the irradiance one lurker will fall. The bats have been added. Here's that defiler with so much energy and a great plague once again being added here by him. Those medics are of course healing as much as they can, but that plague is really so much of a valuable here by Mondragon, as Hydra even has to push back here. All of his units are so hurt. If you look at them all in the red, really great job here by him, but the medics are of course doing so much healing right now. Still look at that, everything is red here for Hydra. Hydra has to of course reposition, perhaps on the high ground, just wait for that energy for those medics just to repair them. But yeah, Mondragon is not going to wait, he's going to push here. However, only Zerglings here for him and one defiler with one lurker, and there's some reinforcements coming in here for Hydra. They should be able to hold unless the defiler with that Dark Swarm is going to be casted. There's the Dark Swarm. The Marines are on the high ground, the other Marines are regrouping and healing. So still this bunker is also for so much of a value here by him, as he's killing so many units here for the Zerg. So once again the mining time has been denied. Lurkers are in position. At the same time Hydra is pushing into this position here. So really good job here by Hydra, healing up his forces and going straight for the other expansion here, not allowing that economic advantage here for Mondragon. Really great stuff here by both players. It's still anyone's game. However, if I look at the supply once again, Hydra doubles the supply here from Mondragon, as this expansion has also fallen here for him. So Hydra with a very strong force here in pushing forward. Mondragon sadly for him only with some Zerglings and one lurker here is being left. So things look very hard for him. However, reinforcements are coming in. He gets some nice connection on those medics. So much splash damage here being done against those Marines. Marines are steaming up, and the 2 lurkers will fall of course here for the Zerg. Sadly, Marines are getting healed. Mondragon is coming back with some of those Zerglings, but the Zerglings will of course be no match here against those medics with Marines. And once again the unit, the economy here from Hydra is going to go up. So he's continuing mining, he's having a great position in the middle of the map. Mondragon sadly only with some Zerglings. Finally in comes the defiler, but the defiler actually dealing damage to himself with that irradiance. Mondragon not paying attention, and he had to come in here just to cast that Dark Swarm. But yeah, if you look at the worker count, many more workers here for Hydra. Hydra once again going for this position here. He really wishes to stop any more economic. He wishes to deal so much economic damage here against his opponent. Even leaves some of his medics here. Perhaps one medic would have been enough in this position. And once again Mondragon, sadly for him, he's getting detected. Even a nice defensive matrix here against this Marine. Really great job here by EG Hydra. So really nice job here. However, that lurker is still dealing so much splash damage here against those units, and even come the Zerglings. So nicely done here by Mondragon, holding this base. And yeah, once again we see a great push out here by Hydra with a double supply here for him. Let's have a look if it's going to be enough once again for him. That's just Zerglings with a lurkers, so the defiler should come in here very much soon. Defiler, very valuable unit for any Zerg. We see his value now against those Marines and those fire bat heroes. So once again we have the lurker, actually the defiler being irradiated. He casted that Dark Swarm, and in come the Zerglings. However, the Zerglings need to regroup. Once again a great irradiance against this time a lurker here, and the lurker actually even damaging his own zerglings here, as Hydra is pushing it out on the map. As we're closing it out, we have actually passed the 20-minute mark here. A lone Mutalisk even in the air, nice position here for Hydra, as all of those zerglings have been killed here by him. Really good job here by him, and a great defense in the end. I thought he would lose it, but he did turtle up nicely here in his main, and we have once again tried to push out here, but there's no defiler here left for... Actually, there's just one defiler here being left for Mondragon. His expansion will of course fall in here, and Hydra this time prepared with a tank at a high ground with some science vessel, so things look very hard here for Mondragon. There's to see a final push perhaps here by him with the Dark Zone, really nicely casted, but there's science vessels in the air, no irradiance going out yet. A really great Plague once again, but Hydra is just going to irradiate his opponent here and just regroup and allow the medics to heal his army. So really good stuff here by Hydra, nicely defending here, and more reinforcements are coming in here for him. The science vessels are also nicely in the air here just to detect any lurkers. So what is Mondragon going to do, as Hydra even has his other expansion floating up in the air. More zerglings are being added here for him. Perhaps he's going to irradiate his own science vessel and go for those drones. Now he's going for the defensive matrix on the marine, so nice push here by Hydra. Mondragon once again into very much difficulties here, as his lurkers are being targeted, even the hatchery is being targeted here. So many drones are falling. Mondragon at only 12 drones now. Really great stuff here by Hydra, as this force is still here. Perhaps with a miracle somehow Mondragon can come back. He's dealing so much splash damage now with that plague and those lurkers. At the same time, Hydra going straight for the main now. There's still one defiler here being left, so he could somehow hold with a miracle, but not that much energy here for Mondragon, as in the end of course he has to GG out Hydra, just having way too much. Really good game here by both players. Very close game, but in the end, look at that, even the Sapphire Bat here, Hydra being the victor of this game. So really nice job here by him. Even a nice usage of defensive matrix and a much valuable unit, the science vessel, against those lurkers. So yeah, let's just check the stats a little bit. If you guys are interested in the stats, I will just be clicking once again left and right. Here we go. Really good game here in between Germany and the USA. Hope you guys of course did enjoy this game. Yeah, let me just click a little bit around here, and guys, I will be of course seeing you in the next replay. This is your host Tommy signing out.